Today's video, we're talking about manifesting techniques that you can start to implement into your daily routine to help you manifest anything that you want. And today we're specifically talking about visualization, which is one of my personal favorite techniques to use. It's really easy and you don't need anything except your mind. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Anna Rebecca and I'm here with the intention to help you live a life of your dreams by breaking through your limiting beliefs, doubts, and fears so that you can own your power and manifest a life that you love living every single day. Together, we explore this mindset mastery by discussing things like law of attraction, manifestation, lifestyle, wellness, and travel. If you want to work together one-on-one to figure out where exactly your limiting beliefs or blocks might be, we can do that to figure out how you can manifest the things that you want into your life more easily and effortlessly. I'll leave the link for working with me in the description down below. Thank you so much to everyone for liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. So let's go ahead and get into the video. So in today's manifesting technique that we are going to talk about, we're discussing visualization and meditation. And like I said, I love this one because you don't need anything except your own mind. When it comes to visualization, it's essentially thinking of the reality that exists in which you are operating as the person who has the things that you want, who has the experiences that you want to experience. So visualization is putting yourself into that mindset and into that mind frame of having the wish fulfilled, having those things that you want already come into your life. So that's why for me, visualization is really fun because you're basically daydreaming. You're thinking of the things that you want and thinking of them under the circumstances of you having them. So when it comes to talking about quantum physics and visualization, you're essentially selecting the possible reality out of the quantum field, out of the infinite possibilities of realities that you could experience. You're selecting that reality and choosing to only focus on that experience and choosing to only guide your energy and intention that way. And as we've said in many videos before, where your attention goes is where energy flows. So you're wanting to select the image, the scene, the reality in which you want to see brought forth, and you're putting your focus on that. You're living from the end of these experiences of having the things that you want. So in order to do this, you basically have to decide whatever it is that you want to put your focus on. So let's say it is a relationship. So what you're gonna wanna do with these visualizations of the relationship, you can either have in mind a specific person or a specific kind of relationship and the traits that that relationship possesses. So you're going to want to imagine yourself in that relationship with that person and feel the feelings of what it's like to be and experience that relationship or be with that person. So think about getting all of your senses involved in this as much as you possibly can. Think about what it looks like, obviously, but think about what does it feel like? What can you look at and touch and smell and hear and everything? Get as many of your senses involved in your imagination as possible. The more that you can do that, the more vivid it starts to be, and that basically is you aligning with the vibration of that reality that exists. Because again, thinking to quantum physics, everything exists in the quantum field. Every single possibility and every single reality exists in the quantum field. So all you're doing with this is you are selecting the version in which you want to experience and you're putting attention on that. So once you're able to raise your vibration to match that experience and whatever it is that you're visualizing, that is when you're going to start to see things unfold in your reality and you're going to start to see it come true and come manifest. So with this, pick out a certain scene or scenario, or it can be a combination of different things, but basically you're gonna want to essentially play out a scene and a vision in your mind and play it over and over and over again like a movie. So you can do this whenever you have some downtime, or like when you're in the shower or something, or when you're just doing mindless activities, or you can also do it like before you go to bed, or when you wake up and you're just feeling a little bit lazy and and can't get out of bed, you can use these visualizations and these mind movies to replay over and over and over again. And again, the more you can get your senses involved into it, the more you can really feel into it, the better chance you are having at raising your vibration to the level of having that. So you're gonna wanna keep practicing that over and over and over again until it starts to feel like second nature. So at first, it might feel weird, it might feel off, it might feel like, okay, you're just daydreaming, but that's because you've probably never done this before, or you've probably never really put much intention into it. So it's totally fine if it feels off. That's the point of it and the point of practicing. It's a daily practice of coming back to it so that you start to feel like it's actually second nature, like these things are actually going to come true. And once you get to that point where you are like, this is inevitable, it's going to happen in my life. Like that's how I felt about when I wanted to move to New York City. I knew it was inevitable that I would live here, and here I am. You know, like once you get to that point where you are like, it is absolutely inevitable that I'm going to have this job, I'm going to make this amount of money, I'm going to have this kind of a relationship, that is when those things start to manifest into your life. The key here is to also imagine these things and visualize these things as if there's no obstacles in your way and nothing that can get in the way of you having those things. Because all of those doubts and those limitations and all of those limiting beliefs, those things are gonna come up. But that's why these visualizations and thinking about these things as if there was nothing blocking you, that's what makes these so important and so fun, because you can really get into your mind and imagine what the reality looks like and feels like to have these things and not even worry about all of those other things that your brain that's trying to keep you in this safe space is going to try and throw at you. So the key here is to start to overcome those things that your brain is throwing at you, but with the visualizations, just stay there. And for me, when I started doing this, and if I was thinking about things that didn't quite feel right yet, I would just tell myself, I'm just daydreaming. I'm just having fun. I'm just experiencing what it would be like. And the more and more that I did that, the more I found that that defensive part of my brain started to kind of quiet down. It started to be like, oh, okay, yeah. We're just playing. And the more I could really get active and into it and really start to feel like, no, like, this is what's gonna happen. This is the kind of relationship I'm gonna have. This is the kind of career I'm gonna have. This is how much money I'm gonna make. And slowly these things just start to come to fruition. So that's the key to, if you're feeling stuck, is just kind of like trick your mind into being like, no, I'm just playing around. I'm just sort of seeing what it would feel like. And then it starts to let its guard down. So then you can really continue and continue. And the repetition is how you're going to get it ingrained into your subconscious mind. And that's how you're gonna really get it in there that these things are possible and you can be, do, and have anything that you want. So if you're wondering when to do this, I think I kind of already answered that with really any time that you want. That's the beauty of it, without, having to get out a pen and paper or put together a collage or something like that. With the other manifesting techniques that we've talked about, you can really do this whenever. I've even been at my job and times where I'm able to zone out, and if I'm just doing something that I already know the motions that I'm going through, I'll just get into my mind and replay those movies over and over and over again and think about that and know that this is the reality that I want to live. Like, I might be here doing this job, but in my mind, I know that my real passion and my real goals are here, and that's where I'm gonna live. So that's what I choose to put my attention and my focus on. So it's whatever you feel called to doing. Again, I also like to do it at any point before bed or when I wake up, because that's when your mind is really fresh. So anytime that you feel like you just have some downtime or you want to think about it is when you can get those visualizations and those mind movies going. The only time that I will say don't do it is if you are starting to think about these things or visualize or meditate on them and you start to feel any kind of negativity or something that you're not able to pull yourself out of, then I would say stop right away, stop immediately, and just shift your focus to doing something else. You don't want to put any kind of negative vibration or negative feeling into your visualizations, which is why I say, if you do find yourself having any kind of objections or your brain starting to be like, oh no, but like, what about this? Is to just figure out a way to pivot and to shift your mind into being like, no, we're just having fun, you know? But if you can't get yourself out of that, and if you do find yourself getting into any kind of like downward spiral or negative thinking, then stop right away and just shift your focus to doing something else. Another way that I like to incorporate visualization is actually into my meditation sessions. So if I'm feeling like I want something different than just, you know, simply focusing on my breath, I will incorporate my visualizations into my meditations and really focus on whatever the scene is that I'm trying to create in my mind, and just really focus myself on embodying the version of myself who is living out this manifestation, who is living out in this reality. So the more that you can do that and get in touch with those feelings, and the longer you can, the more real it starts to feel. And again, that's the closer you get to raising your vibration to matching whatever it is that you want to bring into your life. And understand too, the fact that you can even think about these things, and the fact that you can even imagine a reality in which these things exist and which you are operating under these circumstances, it means that there is a reality that exists, that you're doing all of that and you have all the things that you want. The fact that you can conceive of it in your mind means that you can have it. Again, back to the quantum physics of it, there are infinite possibilities and infinite realities that exist. All we're doing is selecting the version and that reality that we want to see brought forth and that we want to experience, and we're putting our attention and our focus on that. And that is how we're going to manifest the things that we want. So know and have faith. The fact that you can even think about an idea like this, and the fact that you can even envision yourself existing in this world, in that reality, means that there is a reality out there in the quantum field that exists in which you are operating under those circumstances. So that can get you kind of excited, knowing that like this is totally possible to have anything that you want. I've mentioned him before in other videos, but Dr. Joe Dispenza is really one of my favorite people that has completely mastered this entire way of thinking, and he does a really good job at explaining the quantum science behind all of this. So again, I'll link him down below if you've never heard of him. I definitely recommend checking him and some of his books out. He basically explains how doing these sort of mind movies and feeling these feelings and really getting into the emotion of what it feels like to have this experience that you're wanting to bring forth, doing that is essentially training your brain and your body into what it feels like to have that. That's why it's so important to feel as much as you can with as many senses as you can, visualizing that reality and knowing again that the fact that you can think of it means that you can create it, but it's training your body and your brain for that experience when it does eventually unfold. So think of it as like you're going to the gym in your mind. You're preparing your mind for what's to come. And the more that you can be consistent with it and keep those productive thoughts on top, the quicker it's going to be able to come into your life. That's the thing. It's not about you need to be perfect right out the gates, because chances are the bigger the dreams and the goals that you have are, the more limiting beliefs, blocks, and fears you are probably going to have that you might need to bust through and overcome before you can match the vibration of having whatever it is that you want. You do have the capability to bust through it and meet the vibration that you need to in order to have the things that you want. And by exercising all of your senses involved, you're essentially getting your body ready for that. So then when it does come up, you're like, oh yeah, I've practiced this in my head a million times. I know exactly what this feels like. I know exactly what it feels like to have this relationship and be in love with this person and experience this love. So you know that because you've gone over it over and over and over again in your head, like it's gonna be a no-brainer when it ends up showing up into your reality, and your job is just to show up and take it when it does. So again, you're selecting the reality that you want to see brought forth, you're focusing your attention on it, you're thinking about it over and over and over, and your only job is to show up and take it once it appears to you. Once it ends up manifesting, you just experience it, and that's the whole process. Similar to the vision boards, I think that visualization is really important, again, because our subconscious mind, which is pretty much the creator of all of these things, is always thinking in visuals. It's thinking in images. So the more that you can feed it those visuals and practice those feelings and practice those experiences in your mind over and over, you are basically preparing your brain to experience all of that. And similar with all of the other manifesting techniques that we've talked about and that we're going to talk about, this is just meant to make you feel good, to raise your vibration, and to get you into alignment with whatever it feels like to have that wish fulfilled. That is the most important thing here. So similar to all of the other techniques, if for some reason you do this and you don't really like it, it doesn't vibe well with you, then don't do it. You don't have to do this. You don't have to do that technique. You don't have to do any of these techniques. All of these techniques are just means to an end. They're just ways to help you raise your vibration and get into that feeling of the wish fulfilled, which is ultimately all you really need in order to focus on and manifest the things that you want. So that basically sums up visualization and meditation. Again, you can do this whenever you are able to just have a moment to yourself, or if you're doing some kind of task that doesn't need your full attention, it's a great time to do it, or you can incorporate it into your meditation. I really love visualization. It's one of my personal favorites because it allows you to just daydream and get lost in whatever it is that you want to create, whatever it is that you want to feel brought forth. So get lost in some visualization. It's a really, really fun and powerful technique to use. If you want some more tools on manifesting or law of attraction, I've got a couple things for you. You can get my 30-day mindset mastery ebook, and it is basically the exact framework that I use to get into the mindset that I have in order to manifest the things that I want into my life and just overall have a lot more positive and productive lifestyle, way of thinking, and everything. It's really great. And then the third thing, if you want to work together one-on-one, I do offer one-on-one sessions for people that want to get a little bit more into this or figure out exactly where limiting beliefs and blocks might be hiding out. So I will leave all of that in the description down below. Thank you again so much for watching. If you like this video, please feel free to like it, comment below, or share it with somebody else. Thank you so much again for watching, and go out there and create a life that you love living every single day.